What's up, you guys? How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. I know I am. Let's go ahead and talk about UFC 326, Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira. Now, this is specifically centered around Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira. Co-man's not announced, so I won't be doing my predictions until later on when that's finally announced. Hopefully, I think it's way too early to say, but I'd prefer to see Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes, but obviously with Kayla Harrison having neck surgery, pretty bad. Alright, let's dive into this matchup. So, apparently, Oliveira, according to training videos, has been working a lot on boxing. Now, I don't know how to feel about it. I don't think he should be in there striking with the best boxer in the UFC. Um, you know, Max Holloway was out striking Ilia Topuria. He's 1000% a better boxer than Ilia Topuria. And with Charles Oliveira, I hate to say it because I love him, but he has one of the worst chins ever. It's gotten worse, and I'd like to just say because of wear and tear. He's been in the UFC for forever now. But the real thing here to look at is Max Holloway has the best boxing in the UFC versus Charles Oliveira, who's a really solid striker, but the worst chin in the UFC. But on Charles Oliveira's side is the ground game. If he takes him to the ground, Charles Oliveira is probably the best BJJ artist in the UFC right now, and he has one of the best and most elite ground games ever in the UFC. Compared to Max Holloway, he makes Max Holloway's defense on the ground look, well, mediocre. So 1000%, if this fight goes to the ground, yeah, Charles Oliveira wins. But if Charles Oliveira strikes with Max Holloway, he's probably going out cold. Which I don't want to say that. I don't like that, and I wish that wasn't true, but I feel like that is the truth. I feel like if this fight goes to the ground, okay, Charles Oliveira is going to easily submit Max Holloway. But if it stays striking, Max Holloway is going to easily knock him out. I feel like neither one of them have a chance on either side. There's just no way in shit that Charles Oliveira is knocking out Max Holloway. There's just not. Unless there was a strike like that I just threw, or some crazy type of 720 flying knee from outer space, Charles Oliveira is not knocking Max Holloway out. However, Max Holloway can very easily, not really easily, but you get what I'm saying. It's just not a good matchup, I feel like, for either guy, and that's what makes it fun. Because this one truly is unpredictable. There's no telling. I can tell you guys that Max Holloway is going to win by knockout right here, but my opinion may change coming into the fight week. There's just no telling. If I had to lock in a pick, I wouldn't. All I can tell you is that it's going to get finished. It's not going to decision. There's no way it goes to decision. However, if it did go to decision, who would it favor? I think it's going to favor Max Holloway. I think Max Holloway would win via decision because Charles Oliveira, in moments, does not do the right thing. He will pull guard, right? And that's good for him, but then it gives control to his opponent. That's the exact reason he lost Arman Tsarukyan fight. If he would have never pulled guard against Arman Tsarukyan, Arman never lands those elbows at the end of round 3, and he'd have won. Arman Tsarukyan would have never had a case to try and get a title shot. Arman Tsarukyan wouldn't even be known. Nobody would care about Arman Tsarukyan. But because Charles Oliveira pulled guard and got hit with many elbows and cut the fuck up in round 3, he lost that fight. But before that, round 2, I believe, is the one that Charles Oliveira won. So it was 1-1 going into round 3, and then he pulled guard, and I feel like it's going to be the same exact case against Max Holloway. However, he'll have a much easier time submitting and controlling Max Holloway on the ground. So it's very interesting. I can't wait for this fight. But when it comes to the real BMF here, and who's going to walk out with that title, fake title or not, I think I have to lean towards Max Holloway. Unfortunately, I love Charles Oliveira, and he's one of the coolest guys ever. I love his story. I love his fight style. He's awesome. But I feel like at this point of Charles Oliveira's career, that chin has only gotten worse. He's coming off of a knockout, but he came back from that knockout Submitted Gamrot super easily, made it look easy as shit. If he goes in there and does that to Max Holloway, I won't really be surprised either. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you're Max Holloway, do not box. Just go through, get the clinch, bring it to the ground, submit Max Holloway, be done with it. Charles Oliveira is capable of doing that. I think he can submit Max Holloway in any single way that he wants. Choke, heel hook, fucking twister, armbar, it doesn't matter. He can get him however he wants. He just needs to read Max Holloway's strikes and look for the takedown. If he tries to stand up with Max Holloway, he's not winning. He's not. He's just not. So, it's a 50-50 fight, but if it goes to decision, Max Holloway is going to walk out with the win. And that's really all I can tell you. Thank you guys so much for watching. I promise more videos are coming. It's a little bit rushed. I didn't have my stuff to record. I didn't have my mic or anything like that, so I couldn't record any videos in the past 2 UFC events. So Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje and Volk versus Lopez. But I'm happy Volkanovski got the win, and I'm happy that Justin Gaethje got the win in that absolute war against Paddy Pimblett. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please do subscribe. I love every single one of you guys. I hope you have a great weekend. If you're watching this 3 years from now, I hope it's an amazing 2027. No, wait. 2028, 2030, 2050, wherever you're watching this, however, just have a great year. I love you guys so much, man. Peace.